2nd there, 2009 on Wednesday. And I wanted to go over a fight that's coming up on September 12th. And I know I don't do the smaller guys that much, or basically the guys that are half my body weight or less. So 135 or down, I really don't pay them enough attention, and I kind of get out of it. But I saw a fight that's coming up again on September 12th that kind of really caught my eye, and I was like, dude, this is a fight I want to talk about because it's two fighters, both from Mexico, both huge, passionate followings there, and one's ranked number 3, and one's ranked number 10 in the bantamweight division, or 118 pounds, or roughly the amount of weight I ate in food last week. Okay? It's Fernando Montiel against Alejandro Valdez. And I'll break down the fighters, and I'll go, I'll go through both of them, and then I'll give my prediction at the end, obviously, right? And first I'll start out with is Alejandro Valdez. He's 21 and 3 with 2 draws, 15 knockouts. He's about a 59 or 58% knockout ratio. Not a great knockout puncher, but that's decent if you look at his overall record. If you look at his recent, like his last 5 fights, 3 of those fights have went the distance that he's won. He lost one of them horribly to Hasegawa, got knocked out bad, and then he there was an injury in his last fight against George Conopoulos. I don't know. I forget the last dude, but it stopped in the 7th round, and he didn't. He won the fight, so gotta give him props there, right? But he's got decent power, but like I said, his last 3 fights went the distance, so he's fighting better fighters, and he's not getting the knockouts like he used to, which is usually what you start to see with fighters that may be blown up a little bit bigger than they should be. He's been knocked down many times, and he's been knocked out a couple times. So, he's actually been stopped, been beaten. Had the Hasegawa fight went any farther, he would have probably been a vegetable. Honestly, he was getting hammered in that fight, hit with big shots. He's been a bantamweight for his whole career though. So because Montiel is stepping up in weight. Hasegawa, if you looked at him on paper, you don't look at his last 4 fights by knockout. He's not even a 40% knockout percentage. So. Is it that he's fighting guys that have severe glass jaws now? Because, dude, if you're under 40%, you could barely box your way out of a wet paper bag. Really. So did he just flip a switch and say, you know what, I'm tired of going the distance. I really want to start tagging these people. I don't want to win on just boxing ability alone. Anyway, he is a southpaw. He's susceptible to hooks because he carries his right hand so friggin' low. God, it's his bane. That hand carrying it low. If you carry your right hand low and you're fighting left-hander like Hasegawa, you're getting you're just getting drilled in the face by left hands. If you carry your right hand low and you're fighting a right-handed fighter, you better pray to God he's a natural right and doesn't have a monster hook. Some of his fights beforehand, Oscar Andrade, he was 36-1, or 36-31, I should say. I don't want to get that confused. Sorry about that. So he's a bum. Laurier, who lost last of his 3 fights, he's 17-4, something like that. You think, oh yeah, he's up? No. He's lost to anybody that was even remotely good. So you're looking at a guy that I believe is going to be severely outclassed in this fight. And, he's in trouble. All right, on to Fernando Montiel. 39-2-1, 29 knockouts, 70% knockout ratio. Absolutely brings the stank when he's hammering you. And people will say, well, he's just moving up to bantamweight. Not really. He's had 6 fights. 6 fights at bantamweight. He lost one of them, and that was for a title shot against Johnny Gonzalez. He lost that split decision. The judging on that was weird. How do you go from winning 115 to 113 on one scorecard and 118 to 111, losing on another? He had to have been in Texas. Uh, anyway, his recent fights, he's got KOs over Silva, Maldonado, Melendez, Santos. He's beaten some good fighters. Started at flyweight. He's coming up. He's 30 years old. He's gaining weight. So, of course, bantamweight is more natural weight for him now. Step up. And he looks good. He looks good at this weight. And I'm going to tell you, that dude's got some severe, nasty, violent power in that left hook. Unless, Silva had a glass jaw as well. Couldn't take any punches. But what he did to that kid looked like what Hasegawa did to Valdez. So, he is fighting a guy that's fought at the higher weight his whole career. I don't know how much you can look into that, because out of the 5 fights he won at bantamweight, 4 have come by knockout. So he's carrying his power up. He's fast, but everybody that's the size of a small antelope is fast. All these guys are going to be fast. If you're slow at 118 pounds, you're in trouble. A lot of trouble. You should probably be a jockey. But then you're still too big. You gotta be like 112, be a jockey. Carries his left too low. He gets hit with a lot of clean shots. But he's never been knocked out. And when he carries that left, it's more of a sucker in because he's a counterpuncher. Which is really hard to do when you're talking about guys that throw at the speed of light. These guys are so fast, and to be a counterpuncher at those lighter weights, that's what makes like Juan Manuel Marquez so awesome. Anyway. He's got that left hook that is out of this world. When he was touching dude with it, guy was going down. He also knocked Silva down with a jab. So, he's got a lot of power in that left hook. Does good head to body work. He knows how to finish a fight. Guy has a lot of power. So with that, I think he is an upper echelon fighter. He's up there. I see this as a mismatch, even though, according to BoxRec, and that's where I get my rankings from. Throw me some money or something. Anyway, that's where I get my rankings from. They have him as number 3, and he's behind Hasegawa and Igbeko, which is understandable because those are two bad boys ahead of him. And then you got Valdez coming in at 10. I call this the Battle of Mexico because both these are like the 2 highest ranked fighters still living in Mexico. There's one guy that's in California I'm not going to talk about right now because he's not in Mexico. So I think this fight will be a great fight for the 4 rounds that it lasts. I think Valdez is way out of his league, and Montiel is going to he's going to knock him out, or the referee will TKO. You know what I'm saying. The fight's not going past 4. So there you have it. This is the Bigragu. I'm out.